Alright guys, so either didn't work, the starting fluid just didn't seem to make a difference. This is what I used, Valvoline starting fluid. It didn't really make a difference in it starting or sound like it wanted just to fire up. Anything I have not checked is to see if fuel was going through, but that's what the ether would have done as a substitute, but it didn't fire up. So I've heard on YouTube some of the guys that work on these small engines mention, but I've only heard it mentioned so far on the overhead valve type motors. Hard starting would usually mean valve problem, where you have to reset them to specs, but this is not an overhead, this is a flathead. But I don't know if hard starting, if it was a valve problem, would it be also would it include a flathead motor having the same problems? If anybody knows the answer to that question, please let me know. That way I'll crack into this thing and see if I've got maybe some issues with clearances on the valve. I've never done that kind of work yet, but got to do everything once at least. So let me know if you think maybe I have a valve problem on this flathead, the 20 horsepower IC Briggs & Stratton, the Platinum series, and tell me what you think. Alright guys, see you later. Alright, so here we go with a little ether. Let's see if it'll crank over or it'll turn on. Okay, so nothing. Try it again. Nada. Alright, so I'm gonna keep doing other things that I can think of here to do, but if when you watch this video, if I haven't already put one of me getting it started, go ahead and comment and let me know what you think is wrong with it. Thanks guys. Alright, so I've checked both plugs for spark and they both spark. I've got compression. When I was cranking it earlier, I was smelling fuel, so I'm not too sure. I'm thinking it got flooded, so that would tell me that I've got fuel delivery, but something's still not letting it just fire up. So I'm gonna keep checking. I'm gonna take off the air filter, maybe squirt a little ether down there and see if that'll start. If that is, then maybe I've got a carburetor problem. Maybe the seat, the needle is stuck or something. But I'll do that next and I'll let you know what's going on. So I've taken off both plugs now, and both of them had a smell of fuel on them. I'm not sure if that's going to be a bad thing, because the other side, the plug was dry, but it did smell like fuel. So I guess I'm going to crank it a bit here, so if there is any fuel in there, it'll shoot it out of the spark plug port. So let me do that. Yeah, those are the ducks in the background mating. Okay, so you didn't see nothing shoot out. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and check for spark. So I'm gonna hook these back to the leads and see if we got any spark. Alright, so I took off the plug here, this first one, and It certainly does smell like gasoline, and it was a bit moist there with the fuel. So something's going on here. Keep on checking. I'm gonna go ahead and check the other plug, see how it is. Alright guys, so having had a bad failed attempt at starting the motor or the tractor here, I'm gonna try to troubleshoot it, and what's been happening is that as I try to turn it on, it just wouldn't fire up. So I'm gonna do a little bit of checking here and see if I can find what the problem is. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just to check the plugs and see if the tractor engine isn't flooded. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna remove it's just being that this is a twin, so I gotta take off both the spark plugs and check the plug, just see if they're wet. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll move on to something else. Okay, I'll be back.